In this tutorial from Knitwhits, we're going to be showing you today how to do the various increases and decreases that we use in our Bramble and our Stanley Softies. Bramble is the owl and Stanley is our little penguin. The first type of increase I'm going to show you is called knitting into the front and the back of the stitch. It's often abbreviated as KFB. What you do is you knit the normal way into the front of the stitch, wrap around, pull through, lift your right needle over and above and back into the back of the stitch, wrap around and pull through. So you now have two stitches where there were one. Do a couple in between here. So again, go into the stitch from front to back the normal way, wrap around, pull through. Instead of pulling this off, you're going to lift the needle over and into the back of the same stitch, wrap around, pull through. Now, one of the features of this type of increase is that you end up with this little bar. So this increase is also known as a bar increase. Again, do it one more time. Over and into the back. Another type of increase I'd like to show you is known as knit into the right loop, or sometimes abbreviated as KRL. What you do for this increase is you will roll your knitting forward, pick up the purl loop in the back of your knitting, and this sits to the right of your next stitch, wrap around, pull through, and create a new stitch from that purl loop, knit the regular stitch. This stitch here is your new stitch. Do it again for you. Roll forward, pick up the purl loop in the back, knit into that, and then knit your regular stitch. The benefit of this type of increase is that it actually is almost invisible. Unlike the bar increase where you have that little mark there, it really doesn't show on this new increase. Another increase that you'll want to know for these projects, and it's the mate to the knit into the right loop, is knitting into the left loop. What you do in that case is after working your stitch, you'll be picking up the purl loop 2 rows below. So count down, pick up this one here, knit into that. That's knitting the left loop. So this is the mate to the KRL. After you knit your stitch, drop down, pick up the purl loop 2 rows below, and knit into that. That's your new stitch, and that's the KLL, or knit left loop. Knowing the KRL and the KLL are particularly useful for things such as this, on the eyes of the owl, where we're working one increase on one side and one on the other, or for example on the stomach panel, as you can see here, we have two different types of increases going, and it gives you a nice shaped increase. Now that you know how to do shaped increases, you'll also want to know how to do shaped decreases. You probably have encountered these before, but here's a reminder. The first one I'm going to show you is knit 2 together. This gives you a right-leaning decrease. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is pick up both stitches together from the front and knit them as if they were one. And what happens is that's going to lean to the right. Again, knit 2 together, pick up the next 2 stitches at the same time, and knit them together. That gives you a right-leaning decrease. The mate to that is known as slip-slip knit, or SSK. And basically for that, to create a left-leaning decrease, slip one stitch, slip the next stitch, take your left needle, go back through those first 2 stitches you just slipped, and knit them together. And that creates a left-leaning decrease. Again, slip, slip, go back through, knit them together, and you have a left-leaning decrease. You can just see there, it's leaning to the left, and these ones here are leaning to the right. There's one more decrease I'd like to show you that we use in our softies, and that's called psso, or pass the slip stitch over. For that one, what you'll be doing is slip one, knit one, take that slip stitch and pass it over and off the needle. So it's a bit like casting off. And what it leaves you with is a left-leaning decrease. So again, you're knitting along. So it's psso, so you slip one, knit one, lift the slip stitch up and over and off the needle for pass slip stitch over. We hope you found this tutorial on increasing and decreasing interesting and informative. Have fun making Bramble!